Yeah, I know, we're doing another morning cardio video, but the park is beautiful today, so can't complain about that. However, it's getting a little toasty outside. I started sweating like a block into this walk. It's because it's so dang hot outside. And that could be a benefit time to time. I don't know. I kind of want like a nice, maybe 70-degree day in an ideal world, because that way, if I start sweating a lot, I know it's directly from the effort I'm putting in. Whereas right now, I could be doing like any little thing out here and I'd be sweating a lot. So all I could do when it's hotter outside, and this is my method of getting my fasted cardio in, is that I can just control my pace and make sure I'm actually at a stage where I'm having to do what I'm doing right now and having to take a extra couple breaths or two in between my words while I'm talking. Because that's about the intensity level we want to be at. And the nice part about the analytics you can get from something like an Apple Watch is, you know, it's not going to be accurate on everything. You know, never listen to the calorie burn on these things, but it does give you useful information, like especially your heart rate, because while it's impossible to be completely accurate with a calorie counting method with a watch like this, the heart rate is pretty decent, because that's at least letting you know approximately where your effort level is at compared to what you're doing. So, and even if you pay attention over time, you know, if your intensity is pretty much directly related to your heart rate here. So when you're exerting yourself very greatly, like for instance, if I were to use this watch while I'm lifting weights and I'm doing something like squats, my heart rate could go all the way up to 170, 180 right after a set. And you could tell because I'm completely gassed afterward. I could feel my heart beating fast, and it's pretty difficult to catch my breath because that's how high my effort level was. But when I'm doing normal stuff in the gym, like, you know, like a bench press or maybe even a barbell row, heart rate's usually about 130, 140. And that's pretty consistent too, because, you know, in those moments, I could answer someone, but it'd be a lot like this. You know, if they were to talk to me, I would be laboring a little bit with the breathing, but nothing difficult. So that's something to keep in mind there. Like, I find a lot of the analytics from this to be very useful. However, like, I would not go off something very strictly like the calorie burn on these things, because it's not ever going to be accurate enough. There's way too much that goes into having an accurate blueprint on what your calorie burn is. You know, it has a lot more to do than just your height and weight. You got your metabolism into play, like an accurate representation of the exercise intensity you're putting in, and then just hormonal and genetic factors that might contribute to you burning more calories than the next guy. So yeah, it's too up in the air to solely rely on that. However, if you go off of something like a heart rate reading, it's giving you a pretty accurate picture of at least the effort level you're putting into an activity. So when you change the way you're looking at it, and change the paradigm you're looking at it into the way I'm describing, it gives you a really good representation of what's going on. And you know, the difficult part though with these heart rate readings is it can be a day like today where it's pretty dang toasty outside, and I'm not exactly, you know, like my heart rate's going up pretty like more so than it would on a normal cool day with me doing this. So, you know, whether that actually directly transfers into additional calorie burn, or fat burn, I should say, fat oxidation. I don't know, maybe, but you know, all I can control is the effort level I'm putting into this stuff. So that's what we focus on. And right now, I would say the effort level's low. As you can see, I'm walking outside. I'm walking at a fast pace, but it's still walking. It's like the lowest version of the cardio modalities you could use. And that's currently how I want it. For one, it's very convenient, but for two, I'd rather steadily pull off as much fat as possible in my situation until this option is no longer viable, and then have to switch it up to something like driving to the gym to do the stair mill, which is, again, perfectly fine. I just don't want to jump the gun on that. And the nice part about my situation is I have a lot of time to work with. A lot of people, they want to cram a prep into a time frame they're not ever able to live up to, like a 12 to even 16 week prep. Depending on what your body fat is, you may need more time than that. What my body fat currently is, I could probably get into shape in 16 weeks, but do I really want to kill myself like that? When instead, I could just, do I really want to kill myself like that? Because I could just take a little bit extra time, and then it gives me a more consistent flow of my energy output to work with. If you're having to do a 12 to 16 week prep, and it's like kind of like you're sprinting to the finish line, well, it's still a long enough distance that you're going to end up limping through that finish line. And you're going to have to do things like end up doing 2 to 2.5 hours of cardio every day on the back end of it. And do you really think you're going to bring the best physique to stage if you're having to wear yourself out that much just to get in shape? I would argue not. But some people might disagree with that. And that's fine. They might have a body where they don't lose fullness very easily. It's not too much of a concern for them. They're not worried about being flat when they're representing their physique, you know, showcasing it out there. So individuals like that, you know, maybe they can get away with it, but still, it's like kind of entering yourself into a suffering competition instead of a bodybuilding competition. While there is suffering involved in bodybuilding, you know, if you're going out of your way to suffer more than you need to, that's just kind of your masochism showing, and not actually what the heart of the sport is. Well, at least that's my idea of what it should be. Some people disagree with that, and that's fine. Yeah, even, you know, more experienced people might even disagree with that. And maybe I'll change my mind in the future, but, you know, I'm pretty well grounded into this position I hold with it. And I think it's all right to have a more chill approach to the whole thing. Obviously, when it comes time to go hard, when you're in the gym, when it comes time to go hard, there's no replacing that. You got to put your foot on the pedal and just start going. But when it comes to doing things like this fasted cardio in the morning, I don't need to get all jacked up to get this done. And I don't need to give myself an extra hassle of driving to the gym to go on a stair mill for 30 minutes when I could just walk out here. And I know it works because I've done this before, and I've gotten below 10% body fat. Whether this is good enough to get me to the 3% or so that I want to be on stage, that I don't know. But I do know I can get pretty darn lean with this method of fasted cardio. And I'm still doing stairs after the workout. That has to be noted. It's not like this is my only thing for the day. but I'm doing this and then I'm about to go to work. So by the time I'm home, it's like 9 hours later already. My body's had more than enough time to recuperate from that. It's not like I'm working an overly labor intensive job. So, you know, my body has enough time to recuperate from that. I'm eating multiple times in that 9 hour window. And then I'm coming home and now I'm fresh enough that I'm gonna have a great workout. And then I do some stairs at the end and that's my day. So it's organized a lot better. I'm having far less leaks of energy, and the end of my day doesn't feel so crammed up because it's not like a race to finish all the objectives of the day. They're steadily laid out to where I get this done, go to work, get my workout done, do cardio, and I mean, what's the rest of my day then? Like maybe I have to take a couple supplements here or there, but I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not coming home from the gym and just dreading the amount of work I still need to get done. I'm done with the gym and I'm done with the gym. And I think it reflects very positively on the results you get out of this. You know, I think there's something to be said about having things strung out in this way, where I'm doing a little bit in the morning and doing the rest in the evening after I work, opposed to me doing everything in the evening. Because it's like that extra or that energy I'm putting out for the day, instead of it all being crammed into a short window of hours, I got the whole day to work with here. And I think that's better for fat loss, to be honest. And I think it'll help avoid excess muscle catabolism. I mean, I've talked a bunch of times, like regardless of what you're taking, when you're aggressively dieting, you're gonna lose some muscle. And if you're aggressively dieting and now you're putting a shitload of energy usage all into a short period of time, you're gonna run out of glycogen, and you're just gonna probably pull off additional muscle just so your body can make more energy to get the rest of the work done. So that's at least my viewpoint towards it. I'm sure that might not be exactly correct, but I think it's a well enough understanding to get quality results out of the effort. So anyway, thank you for listening to the ramblings. I'm about to finish up and I'll see you on the next one.